Live stream's not available? Or is it?
Yeah, Bandeli L in the house, Aqua Gunner, Bitcoin ballin', bring it to you raw. Here we go, here we go. Bitcoin ballin', gonna chat callin', what you need, baby I got you. Bitcoin ballin', Aqua we all in, it's our time, no more sleeping.
What is Aqua Gun? That's what I want to know. He said, I got this call from America. They say, what you doing in Africa? Anyways, what is up, Crypto fam? Happy Friday. Welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. We're coming at you from our studio here in Sin City, Nevada. I'm one of your co-hosts, David. Before we get started, quick disclaimer. Nothing we say on this channel should be taken as financial advice, so please do your own research. With that being said, I want to introduce you to my boy, your boy, Big Rob. What's up?
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, the stale information, and we package it up in a fun, sexy way. You hear nothing? Not me. You don't hear me.
Perfect.
You hear you?
We can't hear Robin. Yes! My dreams come true. Robin's mic stopped working. I love it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do Robin's intro. This is Sin City Crypto, where we take the old, the boring, the stale information, and we package it up in a fun and sexy way. Also,
No, they could hear me the whole time. It was just our producer couldn't hear me.
damn it. I was going to say, man, it's going to be a great show. Can't hear Robin. It's just me and Eddie and Rocco and Forrest, but whatever. Go ahead, Robin. Go ahead, Robin.
We got a lot of new equipment. We add something new every day. You know,
Don't say we. You add something new.
dude, let me tell you, if you worked here at Sin City Crypto, you would absolutely hate me. Every
True.
day somebody strolls in here and I'm like, hey guys, guess what we're doing today? I'm like, we're redoing everything. Like, we got Eddie on the couch now. Look at his face. Look at him. We got Eddie over here. So he's gonna be moderating the chat. So
You could tell he stopped working out, too. He used to be way bigger.
yeah,
Oh, dude.
looking weak.
Take me off the
A
camera.
little weak, bro.
So he's gonna be the one he's gonna be the one screening all the messages in the chat from now on. So, you know, if he deems it a quality message in the chat, he's gonna highlight it. You know, so he's also gonna take tabs. So when we take our polls, when it's 1 in the chat, 2 in the chat, he's gonna let us know what the vibe is.
Yeah.
You know? Also, we don't just do live streams here. We do the deep dives, baby. This is the live stream. Check out the deep dives. Now, let's give a quick shout out to the chat. So, Eddie, why don't we shout out the chat? Who we got in here? Start from the top. Who's the first?
Myad.
My ad number one.
Myad
Air
number
hugs.
1. Russell. Brokoshi. Is that how I say it?
Rokioshi.
Brokioshi. Russell. Crypto Geek. Nashan. Manuel. Chef Murder. Stereo 2. And Marky Mark.
Why you
else we
loud in
got?
here too?
Are
Dang.
you loud? Blue Wolf. Is that new? Haven't heard
Blue Wolf. No, Blue Wolf has been here
Blue
before.
Wolf. All right. Crypto Geek. And Sir Gabe.
His name is actually Sir Babe.
Sir Babe.
Sir Babe,
Got
that's
that.
what we call him.
Mr. Babe. Yeah.
That's what everybody in the chat.
we got,
Daniel.
And Daniel. And then Robin's boy. Oh, you can't say DFib.
DFib
That's
back?
Robin. Yeah.
Where
Oh,
D-Fib at?
D-Fib at the bottom, yeah.
My boy D-Fib up in here. What's up, D-Fib?
The weirdest bromance I've ever seen.
You know, I still haven't played Call of Duty with D-Fib. He's been ducking and dodging me.
He's scared, bro.
Yeah, boy be straight getting dubs. Because you didn't know. You know what I was looking for the other day?
What?
I was trying to see if I could find my Homecoming King crown.
Oh, God.
'Cause I still had it in my garage.
God. No.
And I think my wife threw it away.
You're good. Good job,
And,
wife.
I was
clap,
just
clap.
like, man, it'd be so badass if I break that
No,
shit out
it wouldn't.
midstream.
So dumb. What would be
Anyways,
better? What would be better? Robin winning blockchain or around the blockchain and wearing his homecoming crown, or the Emmy?
You know, there's a few accomplishments that I'm really truly proud of.
Where did you get that Emmy? I saw it the other day.
We'll also straight won an Emmy. You know what I'm saying?
I think we're missing one.
They
thing.
really love me.
We're missing one thing from this picture. Slap to the face.
Let me put my Emmy over here that's the Oscar.
Congratulations, buddy. Guys, we have Forrest coming on in 7 minutes. Do some TA. Markets are down, so perfect timing. Going to talk about some projects. What are some undervalued projects we should be looking at? So make sure you stay tuned for that. Also, hit the like button. Eddie, how many likes we got?
8 likes.
Unacceptable. 8 likes.
Who hasn't liked the video yet?
Probably DFib.
I didn't. You know what it was? Is I didn't go to my the likes video because we thought I was muted. So
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did.
All right.
Anyways.
Now, taking a look at the markets, what's going on with Bitcoin, man? What in the hell? Well,
It's Friday, so options get liquidated, and
We are running-
there was a lot of short positions.
We're getting to
Sorry,
the
a lot
second
more.
half of the month. You know, the month's starting to round out. And we're still in the camp. You know, a lot of people got smaller tax returns, you know, the last minute filing, you know, they owe money instead of getting money back. So maybe they got to liquidate some Bitcoin, cover IRS losses, you know. A lot of people that FOMO'd in early.
I got a FOMO out.
Yeah, and they sold at the wrong time and had to pay taxes on this shit. Now, Bitcoin, $39,488.58. What you doing, Bitcoin? What's going on here? We need to... Dang. You know, there's also what I like to call the Sin City Crypto thumbnail reaction. So every time I put a... yesterday, right at this time right here, actually at 9:09 a.m. is right about the time yesterday that I made the thumbnail. Bull market's back, which signifies the top when when I make a bullish thumbnail. So right after the publish of the thumbnail, we straight tanked. So that's my analysis now. But let's not forget where we're at. Okay, so in the day we were up. We started 24 hours ago at 41,000. Now looking at the weekly, we're down from where we were coming into the week. But taking a look, we are still. What are you laughing at?
Eddie knows what I'm laughing at. Go ahead, Eddie. What am I laughing at?
DFib said I would donate if Rob had if you guys had a
Ticket of a
DFib says some channels allow people to donate. I would do that so Rob could get a new hoodie.
Look,
That's your boy, DFib.
Look here, man. Okay, this is the Raiders OG hoodie right here. Okay, all
There's
right?
other Raiders hoodies. You know that, right?
No, my other Raiders hoodie. It's like it doesn't zip up, so you know I don't
Which
want
you
to
don't zip it up anyways. You always keep it unzipped. So
Yeah,
I don't know why that
I like a
matters.
little airflow on the side,
Chest too big.
on my side, bro.
Chest too big.
Boy, look sweet. We gonna open up club today or what, man? We open up the club when we get to 30 viewers, so just hang tight. Hang out in the chat. We're at 13 right now, so once we get to 30 viewers, we're gonna open up the club. We're gonna give out some Bitcoin, and we're gonna have a Vegas party. Ethereum has fallen under $3,000, so the area of support is probably now gonna flip to resistance. So I don't see it dropping too far down. My opinion, I still think it's gonna be a good buy in between 26 and 3,000. We do have the beacon chain merge, the ETH 2.0, whatever you want to call it nowadays. That's on the horizon. It got pushed back from July. Did we get a new date, or did they just kind of estimated in the fall, right?
They said a few months.
Yeah. So that's still to come, and you know, Ethereum's going to upgrade. Still number one as far as utility. It might like not have the most utility one week versus another. You know, all of a sudden there's a bunch of NFTs getting minted on Solana or something, or vice versa. Terra Luna's got something going on. Anyways, but just generally overall, the most utilized network, the one that everyone kind of always falls back to when it comes to decentralized finance, to NFTs, and just to a growing ecosystem. Ethereum is still the lead dog. Now, and let's take a look here. We got the crypto bubbles.
Everything's down.
We have crypto bubbles. We got AMP here. Is the only thing in the green at 5%. We did do a deep dive on AMP, which is extremely outdated and ugly, so I wouldn't even recommend watching it. But if you're curious on what our antique deep dives look like, we got one on AMP. So all red here on the bubbles. For the week, we are still up on the Ape coin, 20%. The Steppen coin up 40%. Luna is doing good. Now remember, I would keep an eye out for Luna when it comes up to when the market is down. So anyways, a lot of people stablecoin up with the UST, which helps elevate the market cap of Terra Luna. So
Burns token.
Yeah, so I would expect more pump from Luna coming up. So just a heads up on that. And then Tron's still up 10% for the week. And
Forrest likes Tron.
You know, he does seem like a Tron lover. He probably has he might have like a Tron hoodie.
What the hell does that mean?
You know what? Speaking of Tron, man, the Tron soundtrack from the movie Tron, amazing, bro. Daft Punk just absolutely killed it, bro.
Wow.
You don't like it? Yeah. Fear and Greed Index sitting at 26 right now. So we've been in this little zone. Traditionally, if you take a look at the Fear and Greed Index, it has always been a great time to buy when this is in the fear zone. If you were to look at the charts to see when you get to the extreme fear and see, as you can see here, beginning of September, right before we kicked off the bull market, or the second leg of the bull market last year. Extreme fear, great time to buy. So if you're ever just kind of wondering what the sentiment is, they aggregate these numbers for the extreme fear and greed index. They aggregate these numbers not just from like volume, but they also go from like Google Trends as far as keywords that is attributed to Bitcoin, and always a great metrics to look at. Now, taking a look, stock market is down, so this might have been the catalyst. This might have been what pushed the crypto market at least down. There is some sort of correlation to Nasdaq. Our kind of thing is that NASDAQ, if it gets a big move in one direction or another, it generally will nudge crypto in that same direction, but a lot of times they'll decouple. Taking a look at the, so here the Dow Jones falls 600% in worst day of April.
600% or points?
Or 600 points, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 600%.
That would be...
We literally just closed the economy. No, so we went down 600 points. So worst day in April, 4 straight weeks, or it looks like that's what it's going to play out. So at the end of
due, man.
Unless we get a miraculous Hail Mary turnaround by Friday, we're going to have 4 straight weeks of losses in the Dow Jones and traditional markets. Here's an interesting. I think this might be. So at the Fed interest rate was set to go up about 0.25%. Now, the way this works is it's like an estimate, so nothing's set in stone, but the general consensus, at least for the markets and the banks, is that we're going to have 0.25% interest rate hikes at each of these meetings, the next one coming up in May, and they're talking about doubling it. So that perhaps might have been the catalyst, what might have scared the market. So here, policymakers have suggested lifting the rate by 0.5%. So now that's kind of scary as far as for the traditional markets and traders. So, anyways, yeah, we'll see, man. I think the 0.5% is coming. I mean, how else are you supposed to tackle inflation? You get what I'm saying? Like, inflation's just out of control, and so you have a few tools in your bag that you can use to tackle inflation. And as much as maybe the traditional markets don't want to see it, if your job is to handle inflation, it's no surprise. Now, all right, well, that's all I got. What else we got, David?
We got somebody new in the chat. Silver Eyes.
Oh, Silver Eyes. Hola! Welcome.
Turn around, Silver Eyes. All right, that's all I got. All right, ready? All right. Let's not keep our man waiting anymore. Let's get into our market segment with our man, Forrest from Crypto Stackers.
Run the intro.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, Forrest?
Thanks for having me on.
Good, good. How's your...
Doing well.
Okay, so Robin said Forrest looks like a Tron man. I don't know what
Like
the hell
what?
that means.
Tron man?
Yeah, he typically gives backhanded compliments, and I think it's very disrespectful. Are you a Tron man? Do you like Tron?
You know, I learned my lesson on Tron in like 2017, 2016 when it launched. Shot up to like I think 12 cents and then right back down to like 3 cents, something like that. I don't think I've traded it since. Actually, it was one of the most painful trades for me of that 2017 bull market.
I just feel like you had so much time. You've been around for so long, and everything boomed, and you just stayed stagnant. Like, are you ever gonna like do something, right?
You know, I don't know. I think Tron's going to have a resurgence. I think we're going to have a Tron 2.0.
Yeah,
come
right.
up.
Anyways,
No.
Forrest, do your thing, my friend.
Sweet. So I'll switch to sharing my screen here, and hopefully you guys can see my screen all right.
Not yet.
You can't see the charts?
Nope.
Oh. I know what's wrong.
David, what you doing this weekend, bro?
Not hanging out with you.
Why not?
All right. Now you guys should be able to see it.
We're good. Yeah, we're
It's
good.
working now?
Yep.
Sweet. Sorry
Good.
about that.
No, you're
That one's on my end. That's my fault. Okay.
It's probably Robin's
So, yeah, we'll just blame him. So we're looking at Bitcoin right now. It's been a little bit of a scary, drop over the last 3 days. 3 red candles in a row after we spiked up to our resistance at $43,000. But nothing too out of the question here. I mean, like this is until we start really breaking some of these levels. I would just consider a lot of this chop, if you will, right? Just kind of chopping around. We fell down initially and we chopped around and consolidated on this trend line. We did the same thing over here, even despite the fact that we had a huge candle upwards for a couple of days and right back down to these chop levels over here. Right. And we had our move back up to $48,000 where we made our higher high. Things are looking bullish. A lot of people FOMOing in, especially on that big green candle right there. We start consolidating. People are hopeful that we will find support over here. But then the S&P 500 legacy market starts crashing, starts moving down, and we're kind of correlated to the S&P 500 right now. So with legacy kind of running the show for the foreseeable future, my strategy is really just to buy the support levels, buy the levels where I think we'll get these bounces. So obviously, we've talked about $34,500 for a very long period of time. That was, after we initially started crashing down here and we consolidated on 46K as our big support level. We were talking about $34,500 being a huge level. And I'll show you those levels in Crypto Stackers Pro in just a second, how we kind of knew ahead of time that would be a big support level. And then just continuing to sell our resistance levels, right? Sell our resistance levels, and then buy our support levels. And this is a support zone. Now, we could have taken some profits up here. I took a little bit of profits on my GMT trade, step-in trade, but other than that, honestly, didn't really take it. I just didn't feel like we had gone up high enough to warrant realizing some of those gains. So we're just right back down at those levels that we initially bought at around $39.6 thousand, right? And I personally don't see any reason not to hold on to those trades and ladder in if we go lower, right? We have the secondary trend line below acting as some support. And we've got some support levels as low as $34,500. Again, this is our first buy zone. And guess what? If we fall through our first buy zone, right down to our second buy zone, which is down here at $34,500, right? It's a very strong opportunity or a very strong likelihood that we just bounce right back up and test this zone as resistance again, right? And we can sell, right? We can sell everything we bought down here at break even, right? And we can sell everything we bought down here at a profit. So we get a net profit by averaging our orders down. And that's why it's really important if price continues to drop through your support levels. Obviously, we want to have tight stop losses if that's your strategy. But for me, when we're already this oversold and we're already this far down, right? Like, for example, if we were up here at these higher levels, right? We'd want to be trading with very, very tight stop losses, right? But because we're so close to what could be a bottom, if we do end up coming down to these other levels, we can just average our positions down, right? Now, if we're trading up here and we're long and we start moving down, we don't want to have to average our positions down over and over and over and over again. We're going to run out of stable coins by the time we get down to $23,000, $24,000, right? But if we start averaging our positions down from a really strong support level that's already pretty oversold at about $38,000, $39,000, then if we know the lowest we're probably going to go is $24,000, I'll get into that and into why the lowest I think we can go is $24,000 in just a second. We have, we can spread out our stable coins and we can get a nice average in, a nice average price of, say 30K. And it's very likely, in my opinion, that Bitcoin moves over 30K in the future at some point. I don't think we're going to stay under 30K forever. So let me jump into these levels in just a second here. So the first thing I want to do is throw on the easy bands in CryptoStackers Pro, and you can see they're already on. You just click the button up here, and you're going to see $22,000, $21.8 to $29,000 is our easy band zone right now. Now, these are a little bit lagging, right? This is the most lagging indicator in all of CryptoStackers Pro. Our other indicators are predictive indicators. Although these are in a way a predictive indicator because they do show us the zone kind of ahead of time. But what I mean by lagging is that you can see the price action was moving down back here in November and December. And we've actually, despite price action kind of leveling out, we do see the easy band still moving downwards, right? So after this nice move upwards, we do expect these easy bands to start leveling out and or starting to move up again as price action has started to move up a little bit, right? So I don't expect these easy bands to go much lower unless we really start to crash heavily in the very near future over the next 1 to 2 weeks. So we know that these support levels around $21,800 and $29,000 or this accumulation zone should hold for at least a couple of weeks, right? At least a couple of weeks, so that if we do drive down to these prices, we'd expect some support in this region, right? So start throwing out numbers like 21.8K and people start getting afraid or start freaking out. I don't want to panic anybody. I do think that if you're worried about this market, just throw an order in at $24,200, $24,500 with like 5-10% of your stable coins, and then just sleep well at night. So that if we do go down to those levels, you're buying those really, really strong support levels, and you'll actually maybe even find yourself rooting for price to go down to $24,000 so you can get your orders filled, right? So I want to throw on our short levels from our all-time high, and this is how I was talking about, we knew $34,500 would be such a strong support level. And it's because as soon as price action dips below $34,500, you can no longer short Bitcoin on leverage and keep your liquidation point above this excellent resistance of 60 or the all-time high, $68,000, $69,000, right? And we've just been bouncing. All we've been doing is bouncing and consolidating in between these levels. Now we have had higher highs and higher lows, which is bullish. However, it has taken the form of a bear flag, which is bearish. So you got some bearish signals, you got some bullish signals. Tough to decipher, and that's why I like to focus on buying the support and selling the resistance. So we bought the support down there, right down at $34,500, and we sold the resistance at $46,000. Bought the resistance again, or bought the support rather, sold the resistance, and we've kind of crept up. We're coming down to find some support right now at about 39.6. Let me show you that support in just a second. However, first, I do want to, before I move from indicator to another indicator, I do want to show you guys the support that we have at about $24,500. So let's say this was our top. Let's just say this was our local top, and it's just downhill from here. Right now, we have support at $24,100 because that's a very similar level to what $34,500 was based off of our all-time high. Based off of this swing high, 24.1K is the level that once Bitcoin's price goes below 24.1K, you can no longer short it on leverage. This is very, very important because the incentives to short Bitcoin once it goes below $24,000, they just disappear. They're just no longer present. Now I want to throw on our Sunsa levels from our all-time high as of the top, and basically zero, right? Our chart goes back here Our chart goes back here all the way to like 600 bucks, essentially zero, right? This is a logarithmic chart. It's not going to change the numbers much to actually move these to zero. But what you're going to actually see is that if you assume Bitcoin could go back to basically zero, what's the 2-to-1 support level or 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio level for Bitcoin? Meaning there's 2 units of reward for 1 unit of risk. This is a massive, massive support level, and that's at $23.4 thousand. So once again, if we throw on our short levels, we see that, or from our recent high, you actually see that these short levels from our all-time high are very confluent, right? Very confluent with our short levels. So that's isolating for 2 different incentive types in the market, and we get these confluent levels. That's why these levels have been so strong, right? So while we're looking at this, before I move the short levels down, what's this tell us? This tells us that $34,500 is still in play as a big support level, and that's why I have it highlighted over here as the beginning of our buy region for our next ladder down. If price action degrades and we start moving into this region, we want to be buying anywhere below $34,500 down to our structural support as low as like $28.9, $29,000. But most of my buys will be aggressively kind of towards the top here of $34,500 because I know that's a support level. It's been proven as a support level to hold before, not once, but twice. And a lot of times we test these support levels 2 to 3 times. So it would not surprise me one bit to see us come back down to $34,500 and start moving back upwards again, right? If you look over at the structure over here, when we crashed back last summer, we really tested this support level, right, of $30,000 more than, probably 5 or 6 times with some of these wicks, but really if you kind of isolate for, or you kind of aggregate for some of the shorter time frames here, it was 3 or 4 times, and then we held and we moved back up. So that was a very strong support level. I'll show you that support level really quick off of our our swing high down here. Again, we saw this support level tested 3 or 4 times, and it held at $29.8 thousand, right? So moving back into our sunset levels, $23.4 thousand is the level that we see as a big 2-to-1 support level. Now, if we throw on our short levels from our swing high, again, that's that $24,000 level. So you can clearly see, right? If we just look, right? If we just look at where do we see a lot of confluent support for Bitcoin? $32,000, $34,000, $36,000, right? And if we throw our short levels back up again, we see more confluent support at $34,500. We have a ton of support, right, before we break through this structural region of like $30,000 to $32,000, right? So I don't think that we're going to break down to $24,000, but if you want to sleep at night, that's where I'd put an order in. And I'll be saving some of my stable coins. I'll be saving a couple percent, probably 5% stable coins, and I'll leverage up, right? This is such a strong support level that I'll happily leverage up to 2, 3x, 4x leverage for a buy order at around $24,000 because I know there's going to be a bounce there, right? So in the case that we do drop down below $32,000 or so, or we break this support and we go into our third ladder zone, again, our third buy zone down here, this being 1, this being 2, this being 3. I want to buy very, very aggressively. And even if this is a bear market, and if we go down to $24,000, I think it's pretty safe to say that we're in a bear market. But even if it is a bear market, I think it'll be extremely profitable to just sell these bounces, right? So, sell a bounce. There's a scenario where we bounce up from our first support level, right? There's a scenario that we go right through to our second support level. We sell that bounce. And I'd be super surprised if we didn't get a bounce at $34,500 to sell and at least get out of break even on our first ladder. But if we, for whatever reason, didn't get a bounce and we just went straight down to 24K, that is a very, very big bounce a very big, very volatile bounce that I would expect us to get. Right?
Forrest,
what do I mean by that?
You mentioned bear market. Do you think we're in a bear market? Or you think this is just?
I think we're trending sideways. I think at this point it's. Let me clear all this so you can kind of draw it. I think at this point it's just what do you want to? We're kind of getting caught in semantics, right? Yeah. I think we kind of have our big horizontal level there, and I've kind of already drawn this horizontal level down here, or sorry, down there, and we're just trending sideways. And I know I just deleted it, but
I was kind of, I'm thinking that we're gonna look back, say 2023, maybe early 2024. We're gonna look back and we're gonna see this basically a large consolidation, which, I mean, you could look back and say it's a bear market, but, essentially, I don't think it's so much a bear market. It is more of a consolidation. And so I'm in the camp where I think it might be, we'll be in between the $30,000 to $45,000 range, with a couple breakouts on either side. And I could see that till at least the fall. And then I was just thinking maybe, if there's a spot Bitcoin ETF or passes, there's, some other big global event, might transpire. Maybe it'll shake up everything. But I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if, in the future, looking back and you're just seeing this long-term consolidation and kind of just be like, hey, you know what, that was our bear market.
That was our chance to get
quote unquote.
Yeah, 100% agree. I mean, you can super clearly see we've got this support down here, we've got this resistance up here, and we've just been range bound recently between $30K and $48,000. That's where I see us bouncing around, and we just want to prepare for the scenario, the worst case scenario, that we do get a $24,000 flash crash, and that is a super profitable scenario for us. For our long-term portfolios, it sucks. But as short-term traders, it is phenomenal. Like, we'll buy that. And even as long-term investors, just scooping up Bitcoin and altcoins at 24K, that's absurdly cheap. So we just want to be aware of, hey, if we break this support, we'll probably come down to 24K, and look at the gap here in support and resistance. If we break down to $24,000, it's pretty much no resistance all the way back up to $30,000, $35,000, and we would get this really nice clean bounce, more than likely, that we can take a lot of profits out of the market on. So I mean, that's the main gist of what I've got. I'll kick it back over to you guys. But I agree with you. I think we're just range bound, and people haven't stopped accumulating, right? We're kind of correlated to the S&P 500. We're correlated to legacy right now. But the dollar cost averagers are still dollar cost averaging. People are still accumulating down here. There will eventually, very likely, be a supply squeeze when the next bull market comes in, and we'll see price reflect that.
Think about perhaps. What do you think about perhaps an undervalued project? On my radar, for example, I've been kind of eyeing Polkadot. I feel like all the other big layer ones have had their time to shine. And, Cardano had its gigantic run up. The same with Avalanche, more so. And then Terra Luna obviously has been on a run. Solana's had its time to shine. And I feel like Polkadot has yet to really have that parabolic run up.
I mean, it did get up to $55. But
yeah, well, I mean, comparatively speaking to the other layer ones. So I was in the camp. Do you have a sleeper project, an undervalued project? Do you have some insight on Polkadot, or what are you kind of? Is there anything that really stands out to you, or?
Yeah, so looking at Polkadot, I'll go over the project I think is undervalued at the moment. Looking at Polkadot, I think a lot of the fundamentals have shifted towards fundamental analysts, that is, have shifted towards really liking Near Protocol and Avalanche over Polkadot. I think Polkadot's parachains are seen as very expensive in comparison to those, but I'm not an expert on either. As far as price action goes, Polkadot was really oversold down here around $15. Would have been a really good place to scoop it up. Right now, it does have a little bit more risk on it. Right at $18, we could see it go down to 11 to 15. But still kind of oversold in general compared to where it's been in the past. The project that I love, that I think is super undervalued, this is my largest crypto position, period, liquid crypto position, is Nano. And a lot of people, Nano gets a lot of hate. I don't know why. They really, their biggest weakness is they haven't had any really super solid announced integrations. But that's, in my opinion, or not even in my opinion, that's changing very, very quickly. So we look at Kyle Sherman here on Twitter. He commented recently on this marijuana plus cryptocurrency thread, and basically said, "Yep, we're working on this at Flow Hub Co. We're the leading point of sale platform in the cannabis space. So they actually process about $3.5 billion annually when it comes to cannabis sales. And this is a really, really interesting thread. I definitely recommend reading it. But basically, it outlines the problem of the cannabis industry, despite it being legal in so many states. Because it's not federally legal in the U.S., a lot of banks can't touch it or won't touch it. And it makes it the perfect industry, which is a massive industry.
Right.
It makes it the perfect industry for cryptocurrency. Well, FlowHub is actually implementing a FlowHub Cash, which will use Nano, right? So Kyle Sherman, the CEO of this company who commented on this thread, is a huge Nano fan, and he's on the Nano Foundation board or whatever. He's on the board for the Nano Foundation. So this is a partnership that a lot of people are sleeping on, and it's for sure getting implemented. They also have a big foreign exchange FX platform rolling out, a solution rolling out, which we don't know a ton about. The Nano Foundation hasn't shared a lot about it, but essentially we can speculate that the FX industry is massive, and basically the problem that they're solving is that FX transactions take 1 to 2 days to settle, and we believe that Nano's able to do it in like under a second. So what is Nano? I mean, I'll just kind of briefly, talk about for anyone that doesn't know. Nano's like Bitcoin, in that it's a pretty strict digital cash cryptocurrency. It doesn't have smart contracts or anything.
Didn't it have
but it settles instantly. It's super efficient. Go ahead.
Didn't it have a massive run up in 2017 or the last bull run?
Yep. So
I remember it being. I know a lot of people were FOMOing into it at one point. It fell off my radar lately, and I'm glad you brought it back up.
Yep, it basically ran from less than a tenth of a cent all the way up to $34. So this was like a.
And what's
that
now?
would have been a 4,700x, so 4,700x.
Right. And it's sitting at $2, huh? There we go.
Yeah, right now it's sitting at $2. It had a nice little run up earlier this market cycle, and we're sitting down here in the green easy band accumulation zone for it. And I think it's people sleep on it, and for whatever reason, people may not like it. I don't know why, but it is fantastic technology, and we're actually seeing some adoption in the cannabis industry and the FX industries. And once you get into a point of sale solution, whether it's for cannabis or not, the jump over to other point of sale solutions for groceries or whatever it may be is not that difficult. So very bullish on Nano. I say that, full disclosure, it's my biggest bag. But it's, I'm not sitting here pumping my bags. That's my biggest bag because I believe in it that much, right? So
you
yeah.
did a specific Nano video on your YouTube channel, right?
I did. Yeah.
That one was pretty good, guys. We'll drop a link to that in the video if you want to learn more about Nano. Solid project.
Appreciate it.
Cool. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about or highlight for us?
Not particularly. We are in the process of launching an NFT project in the music NFT space. It's called Disco Kitties. We just made the Twitter for it. We're starting our marketing up. The idea is that it's going to be a music streaming platform where artists can submit their songs. And basically, we're just going to be trying to optimize for the best possible playlists for different genres, especially in the focusing heavily in the productivity area. So like the kind of music you listen to while you work, whether it's like lo-fi beats or synth or classical piano, whatever that is, we're optimizing for the best possible playlists in those specific genres. Artists will be able to submit their songs, and the songs that perform really well in our playlists, right, the ones that are the most popular, will be minted into NFTs, sold on an NFT marketplace that we are planning to build. And the overall NFT project right now, it's called Disco Kitties. There's some cool art that I've been posting on my Twitter. I'll just show you a sneak peek. Actually, I think I got to share my screen once more to do that. It's super cool art. And we plan eventually, roadmap's not set in stone yet, But ideally, by owning one of these disco kitties, hopefully we can sort it out so we can share the revenue, right, from the NFT marketplace with the holders of these NFTs. So that would be super cool if we can pull it off. And yeah, we're super excited to kind of start the marketing process.
That's awesome, man.
With disco kitties.
How was I know getting a dev is the hardest part of launching an NFT project, right?
Yeah, I mean, so far I've done all the dev work. You know, I built Crypto Stackers Pro from the ground up by myself. Right now, using a very similar solution is what I use for Crypto Stackers Pro. But yeah, you know, obviously when we go through a mint and raise some money, we'll be able to hire out a lot of positions. So a big thing that NFT projects are doing recently is like, it's basically a way when you mint out an NFT project, it's a way to raise capital rather than going to VC funds that are just going to take a huge portion of the pie. You can just mint an NFT project, hopefully raise a couple $1 million with our mint, and then we have money to build out the infrastructure. But we're going to build it regardless of whether we get the money or not. We're just going to build it organically, and we'll figure it out. It's going to be fun.
Did you get in one of those moonbirds by chance? I know those things are like pumping right now, bro. Like,
no, I mean, obviously I wish. I actually saw the last batch that was getting minted is when I saw moonbirds. They were minting for 2.5 ETH, but they were already selling for like 7 or 8 ETH. And I was like, I wonder if I should try to mint one. I decided against it because it said like gas war is likely. And I'm like, I'm not going to mint directly from the smart contract and like lose a couple $100 in gas. In hindsight, probably would have been worth it just to try. Yeah. But yeah, that's crazy. It's really interesting. I think there might be some, I don't want to say shady. I don't want to say that it's shady, but whether it's wash trading or it seems very calculated that the prices were going to skyrocket above. It
doesn't seem like it has the value it should. Like on the optics, you know, I'm the least expert on NFTs. Dave is more the NFT guy, but I mean, just from my perspective, it doesn't seem like it brings anything revolutionary to the table. It seems kind of basic, I guess. I don't know.
It's the team behind it, from my understanding. It's the team and the proof, the group that kind of launched it. But I kind of agree with Forrest. I mean, you can, even though blockchain is immutable and, you know, decentralized, you can still manipulate it in certain ways. So I can, just like when news broke that CryptoPunk sold for like $40 million when it was literally just the same person transferring it to different wallets.
Right.
So happens all the time. But we would love to, as you get closer to launch, maybe on your NFT project for us, we'd love to maybe learn more about it. And yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be awesome.
Thank you, brother.
Well, thank you so much for your time, for us. We appreciate you. Enjoy your weekend, and we look forward to seeing you again next Friday.
Absolutely. Have a great weekend. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it as always.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Later. All right. Yeah, moonbirds, bro. I was telling Eddie, I was like, we minted a few NFTs, and ours is the opposite.
Well, here's the thing. You know, if you kind of look at it, like, what is it? Like a meme coin almost. You know, no, just that mentality where you have 1,000 projects pop up and then, you know, one of them breaks out.
Right.
In a market that is saturated with pretenders and things that are basically going to make you lose all your money.
NFTs are just so hit and miss right now, guys. Just be careful.
The thing is, it's like in Vegas, okay? You talk to people.
It's worse than Vegas.
No. Here's the thing. You talk to people in Vegas. Here's one thing, okay? When people hit a jackpot and they're in your circle of friends, first thing they do, they hit you up. They're like, yo, straight hit big, man. I hit for 10,000. I hit it for 100,000. Whatever it is, they're always running up to you. But these same people never come up to you and say, hey, man, I might not make a mortgage payment. I lost $10,000, and so you don't hear those stories. At least not in the same frequency that you hear the stories of the people that hit the jackpots. And so what's front and center? What is being advertised is this easy wealth. People just making money. And it's the same when it comes to risky investments. It's the same when it comes to gambling. It's the same, you have a small percentage of people making out big, getting lucky, or just being in the right place at the right time. And you have majority of the people in the other side that are losing their money.
My dad used to always say, because the casinos were not built on winners. They were built off the backs of losers.
That's right.
So don't be a loser. All right. That was a great segment. Great TA. 24,000, man. I don't know about you, but if it gets 24,000, the last thing I'm doing is freaking out. The only thing I'll be freaking out about is how do I get more money to buy more Bitcoin? All right. Let's get into our next segment of our show, the Caliente Hot Take.
That's hot.
That's hot. All right. So our hot take today, Robin talks about this all the time. NASDAQ moves, Bitcoin moves. NASDAQ drops, Bitcoin drops. So will Bitcoin ever decouple from NASDAQ? Will it ever start to go its separate ways, where NASDAQ is down but Bitcoin is up, or vice versa? Robin, what's your take on this?
Well, here's the thing. It depends on the macro and micro viewpoint. In the micro, we've already
both scenarios.
Yeah, that's essentially I am. And so in the micro, the answer is yes, it will decouple.
In the micro?
In the micro.
Okay.
In the shorter time frame. And we've seen this happen before. We've seen the traditional markets dump and either Bitcoin just be like, oh, that's cute, and not move, or it does rally a little bit. It's never really an opposite effect. You never get the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ take a huge dump and all of a sudden Bitcoin just starts pumping at it like crazy. That we haven't seen. But we've seen NASDAQ, we've seen the Wall Street, we've seen it dump, and we've seen Bitcoin just be like, okay, cool, and it not really move and just kind of consolidate, trade sideways. And then, but what we've seen more than the latter that I just said, what we've seen more times than not is that when stock markets move, when particularly the NASDAQ moves in a big direction, when you get over 1% or 1.5% or 2% moves or swings in NASDAQ, it's like 90% of the time it pushes the crypto market. It pushes Bitcoin, and it drops in correlation. It drops with it. And so there's that. But in the macro sense, you got to think cryptocurrency is just another facet of the global economy. It's just another sector of the economic sector. And so if the global economy, which does have its ebbs and flows, in the same way that we had the housing market crash in 2008, it wasn't just us. It wasn't just the U.S. that crashed. It was the global economy. And so that also brought down all markets, risk market, everything. Now, certain things bounced back, came back at different times, but essentially the global economy moves in unison. And so when on the macro sense, if we go into a heavy recession, I think it absolutely takes crypto with it. If we go into a depression, which, I don't know if we're going to see depressions anymore.
Okay, now what if the flip side? What if, still on macro, but what if there is no recession? There is no depression. It's just all that's over, and now it's just steady growth. Then what?
I think cryptocurrency being another sector of the financial and global economy.
What about just Bitcoin? I know Bitcoin is part of crypto, but it's kind of in its own
You can look
category,
at it like
right?
gold. Gold moves with the economy. Gold, when there's economic prosperity,
Okay.
gold moves up. The price of gold goes up when the global economies are prosperous. And in the same, it goes down. Now, at the same time, it doesn't follow it. Gold holds its values pretty well when you go into
people run to buy gold. They run
there's
to buy commodities.
There's less volatility in comparison to the global markets. So if you here's the thing: if stock markets crash by 70%, or we'll say 40%,
Okay.
in 2008 we had, I think it was like a 40% crash.
38%.
So if that happens, just less volatility in secure assets like gold. commodities, particularly. Crypto.
But
At least Bitcoin kind of fits in that category, and it's conform. Right now, it's more of a risk-on asset.
So hear me out on this, right? So why do the markets tank, right? People take the liquidity away from the markets, right? So they're scared. There's a recession coming. People run to their portfolios, to their financial advisors, and pull money out of their account.
No, you know what it is? And that's not what it is. When markets tank, is defaulting. It's when the banks default, or certain companies default, or government and nation states default. That's when you get real economic downturns. It's not pushed by retail. There's not enough retail. People aren't running to the banks withdraw. In 2008, people didn't run to the banks and withdraw their money from the ATMs. They foreclosed on their houses, didn't pay their mortgages, and then the banks were about to go under.
Yeah, what took what was that company that went under? Bear Stearns or Banana Fosters? What was that company?
You talking about the housing company?
No. It was an asset management hedge fund company that went under. Bears. Damn it. Yeah. And the reason they went down is because people started wanting their money back. They liquidated their portfolios, and they didn't have enough capital on hand to be able to do that, so they declared bankruptcy. So what I'm
but here's the thing. They're not the only one. Other asset managers have safeguards in place. And if people were running to a hedge fund and pulling their money out, and that made them crash, they're not running their business properly. Because what happened there probably happened at all the other hedge funds as well. But yet they survived.
Some of them got government bailouts.
Yeah.
And that's the honest truth. But here's my thought, okay? A recession's coming, guys. The stock market's going to dip. Cash is being devalued. The US dollar is being devalued. So you liquidate your portfolio because you don't want to take that 40% dip. Well, what do you do with that money you have now? Do you just leave it in your savings account with inflation at 8.5%, with a dollar being devalued? Where would you put it?
Actually, there's less inflation in recession than it is in economic growth.
Well, because what they do to battle inflation is what.
Yeah, the inflation is inflation comes after economic. It comes after the bailouts.
So if we're in a recession and we start off at this 8.5, we get to 9. What is it going to get down to? 4%, 3.5%?
Yeah. I mean,
that's still a lot.
The reason we're probably going to go into a recession is because of the
Lehman
interest
Brothers.
rate, because of the interest rate hikes, and so
Lehman Brothers, that's what it was. Banana Fosters. So what I'm saying is, back to my point, as people start pulling money out of the stock market, out of the bond market, out of the real estate market, well, can't really do that, but you get my point. Where are they putting their money? Are you going to leave it in a savings account in the US dollar that's being devalued every single year? Or are you going to look at something that is a strong store of value like Bitcoin or
people
gold?
Aren't exiting. People aren't liquidating their 401ks. People aren't selling all their Apple stock and their Tesla stock. This isn't crypto. Crypto and stock market are completely different.
Bro, that's literally what people do.
The
liquidate
retail
their
investors,
stocks.
the retail investors, majority of them are people that buy stocks and hold them. And
if you have a financial advisor, right, their job is to make sure your money's at the right place at the right time. What happens if there's a recession coming?
The financial advisor never tells you to remove your money.
But they don't tell you to remove your money, but they move money out of certain sectors and into different sectors. They might take it out of equities and put it into cash.
Well, they're not going to put it into crypto. They're not going to put it in Bitcoin. They never have and they never will.
What I'm saying is that money is going to be taken out of there. Well, Bitcoin can now be another form of cash on hand or gold or a store of value. So in that sense, I think it will decouple from the NASDAQ.
No.
Back to
what people are going to do is when they start losing money in stocks, they're just going to hold on to it and they're going to get all pissy.
Look at history. That's not what
That's
happens.
what history does. You know who loses money is the companies that go under and then they default and then the people are screwed out of their cash, bro. That's what happens.
People literally take their money out of the stock market. I'm not saying they go.
This isn't crypto, bro.
Pull it out and put it in their bank.
Okay, what happens in crypto?
They go to their financial advisor. They go to Charles Schwab and say, "Hey, I want my money in less risk assets." Okay, we'll take it out of equities. We'll take it out of
Okay,
mutual
you
funds.
bring up
and we'll put it into
you
cash.
bring up the Lehman Brothers. You bring up one example, but what happens is,
but bro,
here's the thing.
that was an absolute giant.
Listen,
that went bankrupt.
let me tell you something.
That went bankrupt.
Okay, you can always pull up one example, but here's the thing: every person
One
that
example
okay,
from one of the most historical moments in the history of the United States.
hear me out here. Anytime somebody owns any crypto, every single person I've ever met that's owned crypto has fucking bought it. And then 2 months later, after a certain crash, they're like, oh what do I do? I fucking sold my shit. Bitcoin's down. Blah, blah, blah. Every fucking time, man. There's only like one other person I've ever met that had literally just bought Bitcoin and just threw it on a cold storage wallet. Everybody freaks out and they sell their crap. I've never met somebody come up to me and be like, yo, I liquidated all my stocks. I don't hear it. Nobody comes up to me and says that ever.
Because
the natural trading mentality.
Just because you don't hear in your circle of people them saying, "Oh, I didn't liquidate my stock."
Do people come up to you?
Happen?
Do people come up to you and tell you they liquidated their stocks?
People don't talk to me.
There's a good reason for that.
Listen, all I'm saying is money gets moved out of certain sectors and into other sectors when there's economic distrust.
And if you look at the history of stock market collapses, recessions and depressions, they all get steamrolled by default. Just saying. And it's a company that goes under.
Okay. And then what happens? People start taking their money out.
No.
Yes.
They go broke.
They don't.
They claim bankruptcy.
Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with me, or if you agree with me. Put a 2 in the chat if you agree with Robin. Put a 3 in the chat.
Let me ask you a question. When the housing market crashed, did everybody sell their house at pennies?
It got
no.
foreclosed
They did is they short sold it and they just let it get repossessed or whatever it was. Basically, they didn't pay their debts. They just were like, okay, yeah, I owe you a lot of money, and we're just gonna write this thing off. But nobody bought $300,000 house in cash and then turned around and sold it for $100,000. And then we're like, hey, you know what? I put $300,000 in. I'm tired of holding it. Yeah, I'm gonna just take $100,000 and pocket it. They didn't do that. They had the debt and they fucking foreclosed on it. And that's the economy, bro, on a global sense.
People still put money out of this shit. And we just lost 8 viewers. All right, we're moving on to our very next segment. The talking points. All right. So the first article we're gonna jump right in. We're going to Ukraine. The Ukraine central bank restricts cross-border crypto purchases with national currency. Ukraine's central bank, the National Bank of Ukraine, has tightened restrictions on cross-border, quote, quasi-cash transactions, including those involving crypto with its national fiat currency. These measures stem from a need to prevent unproductive capital outflows from the country, which is under martial law. Ukrainians may now purchase quasi-cash assets, traveler's checks, forex accounts, and notably digital assets up to a limit of $100,000 or $3,400 per month, only with foreign currencies. So now there's going to be a limit on foreign currencies.
What the hell is quasi-cash, bro?
Like quasi-semi.
No, I mean, I know, but who came up with that?
Someone. The NBU plans to allow refugees fleeing the country opportunities to make cross-border peer-to-peer transfers within the above limit from accounts in its national currency. However, quasi-cash transactions such as crypto are temporarily prohibited. So, I don't have too much thoughts on this one. I feel like, now that I've kind of read the whole thing, the article is a little confusing. But what I'm saying is Ukraine crypto.
Quasi-cash, quasi-co-host. Everything's confusing around here. Thank you.
Nobody will talk to me. All right, you got anything to add to this, Robin?
No.
Okay. And it's Friday, my friends. It's Friday. The weekend's coming up, right? My kids got a soccer game tomorrow. Got a lot on my mind. Stripe to offer crypto payments with Twitter. First to trial. Stripe, not strike. Stripe with a P. Stripe will pilot cryptocurrency payouts using the Ethereum scaling solution Polygon, and I have some notes here. Stripe did about $7.4 billion in volume in 2020, and they are a financial services and payment platform. The payments firm announced that it had teamed up with Twitter to provide USDC stablecoin payouts for users who earn income through the social media's premium products. Now, selected users can choose to cash out revenue generated through the Twitter ticketed spaces and super follows to the Polygon network via a Web3 wallet. Some of these wallets that are integrated include Rainbow, Coinbase Wallet, MetaMask Wallet, Wallet Connect. They're all compatible. All crypto payments cashed out via Polygon will be routed through Stripe Connect, which will also handle KYC requirements. While Stripe likely chose to add payments to Polygon first due to the network's low transaction fees, the company said it also plans to add options for payment in other cryptos in the future. Now, Stripe was pretty big into crypto back in 2018, and then they left. And now they're back. You can't deny the fact. Bitcoin is here. Crypto is here. It ain't going nowhere. Robin, what are your thoughts?
I agree. Hey, you mentioned the Rainbow Bridge there, and it got me thinking. You ever play Mario Kart with the Rainbow Road, the last level? And it had like no bumpers. You just fall off the. Did you like Rainbow Road?
Yeah.
It was like way too many colors for me, bro.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on this article, though?
It's good, man. It's good.
Are you surprised Twitter was chosen to be the first?
No, Twitter.
I thought it'd be OnlyFans. I thought it'd be OnlyFans.
OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Is that an actual social media platform?
Well, yeah, very social. I hear.
Definitely not. Definitely not a social media platform.
I heard it's super social.
It is probably very, very social.
Eddie, you have an OnlyFans account? No, I thought I saw you logging in the other day. No, okay, my bad. His girlfriend, if you're watching, I'm just kidding.
Twitter is definitely at the forefront of crypto integration. Obviously, you have the tipping, and it makes sense. I could see a place where Twitter is kind of like the social media hub for finances, right?
Yeah.
And instead of maybe Zelling somebody, for example, you just be like, hey, what's your Twitter address? And then you're sending people cash that way. Obviously you can do that through the form of tips already. But, I could see merchants doing it. If you have a Bitcoin wallet associated with your Twitter, why not walk into
Bitcoin wallet? I'm going to integrate it. What you need, baby, I got you.
So I could see you walking into like say a grocery store and then having your Twitter account pulled up and paying with Twitter. Kind of cool, right?
Yeah. You know what I'm excited about? You know why I love our show so much? Because there's so much crypto information. There's so much news articles out there. I feel like our flow and our style and our fun vibe, I think it keeps people engaged. Put a 1 in the chat if you like our vibes.
Can I put a 2 in the chat right now?
One of these days, Robin.
Now just imagine paying for groceries and Twitter account. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I'm putting a 2 in the chat. There it is.
What a dick. You know what? I want to give something away today. It's not going to be money, but it's going to be a very valuable resource for anyone who's into cryptocurrency. So make sure you guys click the link or click the giveaway link that's pinned to the top of the chat. I'm going to be personally sending someone something amazing. You guys are going to love it. I love it. So make sure you do that at the end of the show. Robin will draw a winner and I will send you a special gift from David. All right. Yeah, so like I said, I kind of thought it would be maybe integrated more with a platform that does more monetization.
OnlyFans.
Instagram does a little more, obviously Facebook, TikTok. So, but you got to start somewhere. And this is great. I like it. Very, very bullish. All right, we're moving on. DFib, no, because Robin's your boy. So you want something, get it from Robin, baby. You know what I'm saying? Just kidding. Uniswap Labs now blocks certain crypto wallets from its app's front end. Uniswap Labs, the main developer of the Uniswap decentralized exchange protocol, has begun blocking crypto wallet addresses that are found to be engaged in illegal activity from its app's front end. They have partnered with the blockchain analysis firm TRM Labs for this initiative. TRM Labs flags crypto wallets for Uniswap that are likely to be linked to illegal behavior. To to illegal behavior such as sanctions, terrorism financing, hacked or stolen funds, ransomware, human trafficking, and child sexual abuse material. Uniswap Labs, in its frequently asked questions section, said it had taken the move because its, quote, policy is to prevent people engaged in illegal behavior from using our app. I don't know how I feel about this, man. I feel like it kind of, in a way, it goes against everything Satoshi envisioned when it came to the crypto space. And it goes against everything that we say is decentralized, getting away from government control, government overreach. And there's just too much gray area likely to be linked to illegal behavior. So are you going to have a situation where you think it's likely linked, so you start blocking wallet addresses? Like, I don't know, man. This is kind of sketchy to me. What do you think, Robin?
Here's my thing. If there is a old, nasty, sweaty man and he is funding his pedophile ways
Pedophilia?
and he's doing it through a crypto payment transaction.
How do you know, bro? How do you know? That's what I'm saying. Likely to be linked. Like,
Well,
you're essentially, when you're
Here's
using...
the thing. If you fall in that likely category, you're doing some shady ass shit. If you're transferring money from your Coinbase account and you're putting it over to your MetaMask and you're doing a swap, more than likely you're not in that category. And so if you are in that category, you're either in a circle of people that are shady as fuck, or you have done some things that have raised some eyebrows and question marks. And you know what? Like, if you're having problems using Uniswap, I don't know. Whatever method, you know what? Whatever method they use for illegal activities. Here's the thing: nothing's ever going to be decentralized to a point, unless you walk up to a parking lot and you transfer Bitcoin through a wallet transfer, where you see the person in front of you, you both got masks on. You walk into a parking lot, and you're like, hey, here, I'll send you some Bitcoin, and then you're like, hey, thank you. That's the only way. Otherwise, somebody's got to be the intermediary here. And so if you have an intermediary, then there's always going to be some kind of centralization. And that's what Uniswap is. They just facilitate the transaction between two different people.
Yeah,
and that's what an exchange is. That's what Binance is. I mean, they custody your crypto essentially for the transaction.
Here's my scare, right? It's hard to take power away from someone that has power. So when you start giving power, you're more than likely not going to get that power back. So now you're giving Uniswap the power to block crypto addresses.
They can already do that.
I don't know.
So Uniswap uses the Ethereum blockchain to facilitate transactions. They take your info and they put it in a smart contract and execute it. Now they can look at your info.
Show me how that works again.
Like this. Like bam. Okay. This is you. This is me. Smack. Anyways, they can take the info that you have, because obviously you got to log in with an IP address. You got to, you have your wallet address with you. You have your location in the world, via your VPN. And so, you got to put info in somewhere. Yeah. You can't do it, like I said.
Next thing you know, they're going to do KYC on Uniswap. That would be the death of Uniswap.
I mean, they don't need to. I mean, all they essentially need is your IP address and your wallet.
Baby, I got you. All right, let's move on. So Robin's a big quantum computer nerd. He watches astrology videos. Nerd.
Astrology and quantum computing are two different things.
I know, but they're still nerdy. Go to my laptop. It's a backhanded. It's a Robin compliment. That was the most Robin compliment I could ever give.
What's wrong with your hand? He's like, it's a Robin compliment.
It's a Robin compliment. I'm pointing to you. You're right there pointing, saying a Robin compliment.
Your hand's getting lazy, bro. That's all I'm saying.
My hand's getting lazy. You want to see how lazy this hand can get? Core developer wants to fork Bitcoin, not spoon, fork Bitcoin for quantum resistance. A New York-based Bitcoin core developer says he's figured out how to protect the network from uber-powerful quantum computers, but admits it's a problem that likely won't need solving for a few years yet. Quantum computers can theoretically generate millions of times the rate of hashes or mathematical calculations of regular computers. Put simply, his proposal involves a new study of public key creation that uses quantum-safe algorithms. However, he also says any changes, though they sound straightforward, will take a lot of work and suggests a fee premium for using these addresses may be an option. Proposals often take years on Bitcoin to pass code and community reviews. So, Robin.
It was a fee premium.
Yeah, so essentially suggests a fee premium for these addresses may be an option. So essentially having a new quantum resistance Bitcoin address would come with a fee.
So that way, if you were to put in 10 trillion seed phrase possibilities, you'd have to pay $10 trillion worth of fees.
I don't know
I guess that's probably what I take away from it.
Yeah, I don't know the ins and outs.
So basically, the way you would hack with quantum computing, the way you would hack a seed phrase, is that you'd put every word in the dictionary over and over and over and over again in every single possibility over and over trillions of times until you finally unlock it. Yeah. And what they're saying is if you put a fee behind the wallet, you would have to pay a fee for trying to input it, I guess.
Like I said, it's very vague.
That would make sense.
Even
if it's not, if you had to
maybe
pay,
they're saying people have to pay a fee premium to have the wallet.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. Like
but
I said,
it brings up an interesting point. If you were charged 1 penny to secure your wallet from you're going to secure your wallet from quantum computing risks, and the cost is that every time you sign into your wallet you have to pay a penny, would you do that? And it's future proof.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, worst case scenario, you pay like $2,
especially if it's a cold storage wallet, right, where you don't really access every day. So yeah. I mean, that makes sense, right? Because if now you got a quantum computer that has to have 10 trillion
pennies to,
that's like,
and it's actually even more than that. That's the scary part about the cracking a seed phrase is it's.
Listen, guys, like our space is full of like the smartest technologically advanced people ever. So here's what I love. Something that is still years away, they're working on a solution for it already. Fucking love the crypto space, man. Seriously, I absolutely love it. Why can't our government look just 2 years in the future and start doing shit? They should have known when the C word happened and they started printing money. They should have been like in 5 years, we're going to be fucked. Let's start doing something now. But they didn't. And you got over here, a Bitcoin developer knows something is coming in, let's say 10 years, and he's already working on fixing it, man. I fucking love it. Look, that's my boys. All right. Moving on. Terra's stablecoin added as base currency to Binance.us. Binance.us has made an announcement about adding a new trading pair that allows trading Bitcoin, the largest crypto, against Terra's red-hot USD stablecoin. Still, Terra has its fair share of detractors who believe that the project is a Ponzi scheme, interesting, of enormous proportions since it requires more people to invest in it to remain sustainable. First of all, Robin, is this a Ponzi scheme? Like, what the hell is going on? Whoever wrote this article, what the hell wrong with you?
Is a stablecoin a Ponzi scheme?
They're saying the UST is a Ponzi scheme. Yeah. Since it requires more people to invest in it to remain sustainable.
But here's the thing. This is how the UST stablecoin works, essentially because you burn your Terra Luna, and then burning your Terra Luna gives you your UST. And so, I mean, I don't really know how that's a Ponzi scheme.
I don't either.
I mean, if you were to say Terra Luna's a Ponzi scheme, I mean, that would make more sense. But even though it's not a Ponzi scheme, I'm just saying that, like, if you're going to make an argument, if you're going to make an argument for something that's in the Terra Luna platform to be a Ponzi scheme, obviously the the Luna token would be the one that would fit the bill a little bit more. Right. The UST is literally just created by burning Terra Luna, so it's a correlation. Then you can trade your Terra Luna in for, or you can trade your UST back in for Terra Luna, and then you can time it in a way where you can make money by switching from one to the other. So
yeah, I don't know.
And they're backing you with Bitcoin, so right. I mean, even if that business model fails, it's backed by Bitcoin too. So
yeah,
at some point, like unless Bitcoin straight crashes, and it takes Terra Luna with it at the same time, which if Bitcoin does crash super hard, it would take the two of them to get it down. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't got much to add to this. Just thought it was interesting. So, all right, we're moving on.
But it just goes to show you that Binance trading, listing the
it's like
the Bitcoin.
It's a race, bro. Coinbase is racing to have the most tokens listed. Crypto.com, Binance. I mean,
no, it just shows the liquidity. If your Bitcoin trades in a certain it's not so much for Bitcoin. It's for all the other ones. So let's just say you sign into Binance and you go to buy we'll say Nano token. Obviously, Nano token on Binance.us probably has one trading pair. And so if you want exposure to Nano on Binance.us, you have to buy that stablecoin.
Right.
And so that's where this market dominance comes from. It's the trading pair that the exchange decides to use. And so now that you see Bitcoin trading pair coming in with UST, will we see all the other projects start to slowly adopt UST as well? So
yeah. I mean,
and if that happens, Terra's going to straight go to the moon.
Knock it out of the park.
That's right.
Do you hold any Nano, by the way?
No, I don't.
I do. So if you're a crypto stackers lifetime stacker, so it's $300 for forever. You have access to the platform. Forest actually pays you out Nano tokens every single month for free. So just for being a lifetime stacker. So, all right, let's move on. Some play to earn news. Play to earn games see 2,000% increase in user base. Play to earn games have become increasingly popular and have recorded over 2,000% in their user base within the first quarter. The user base represents 52% of all blockchain activity during the first quarter. Growth in the sector is on an uptrend, with blockchain gaming attracting 1.22 million unique wallets in March. A significant contributor to this growth is the popularity of play-to-earn NFT games on Ethereum sidechains. Polygon has seen a 219%. If you're wondering why I got my hand up, because this idiot over here is trying to make me not be a good reader. Polygon has seen a 219% increase in gaming activity in 2022 due to games like Pegaxi, Crazy Defense Heroes, Avegochi, and Arc 8. A lot of Polygon news today, and because there's one right after this Polygon news. Now, March alone saw an average of 173,000 unique wallets daily. On-chain activity for Binance Chain and Ronin has decreased. So looks like ETH play-to-earns are on the rise. BNB play-to-earns are on the D-rise.
I got a rant, bro.
You got what?
I got an issue, man.
You got an issue?
I got an issue, man.
You got issues.
Everybody's always hyped up on these play-to-earn games. It's all the buzz, man. It's like, hey, man, I've been playing. DeFi Kingdoms is probably the biggest one that I'm familiar with, and you have all these other different farm games out there, and anyways, this is my thing.
So you're not a play-to-earn fan? No.
Why you say it like that?
Why are you not a play?
Here's the thing.
Hold on. If you got paid to play Call of Duty, would you be a fan?
No. That's where I'm getting at.
Okay,
right now, these play-to-earn games suck. Their interface is terrible. The graphics are doo-doo, and nobody actually likes playing them. The only reason that they caught as much hype as they did is for the simple fact that where are you going?
It's going to be a long rant. Go ahead.
Okay. So, it's for the simple fact that you make money. So you get this euphoric moment because you made money. And it's the same way, think of it this way. Are slot machines fun to play? No, you're fun to make money off of it, essentially. And because you're making money, you get that euphoric feeling. You get that satisfaction because you're drawing revenue. And if you want to be at the forefront of gaming and cryptocurrency, you need to find something that's not a play to earn, but a fun to play game. If you get a game that's fun to play, that has a community because they want to play it, and you happen to be able to monetize and make money off of it, then that's going to be the platform that explodes. That's going to be the one. As you mentioned, Call of Duty. If I can sit here and play Call of Duty, have a good-ass time, enjoy doing it, but I happen to make money from doing it at the same time, that business model is going to be the one that succeeds. And right now, the business model is, hey, this shit is boring. It's the graphics are lackluster, but you're going to generate revenue. That business model, but it sucks to play, is not going to succeed. So that's how I feel about play to earn games. I feel like
okay, so the Stephen Curry, right? That's a play to earn. Do you think
that's
it's technically considered a play to earn.
You're not playing. The play to earn games are the games that you're like you're shoveling out. Like say you go into a field and you dig, and then you dig, and you dig, and then you find a piece of gold,
running,
and that's
jogging or walking.
Those are experience driven ones. That's the ones where you just like you're adding to the metadata by using functionality. It's the same as like. It's like saying like, hey, liquidity pools play to earn. Like, no, you own it and it's generating you revenue, and you own the STEPN token, and using the your feet to walk around generates you revenue. You're not playing a game. Now, if you were running a race against other people and it was a competition, then maybe, yeah.
So, you already know what I'm doing, right?
Okay, it doesn't matter. A game is a game. There's functionality. There's an objective.
So there's actually
what is a game? A game is an objective. There's a chess game. There's a winner. There's a loser.
And
fucking walking is not a game. Okay, that's just you getting from one point. That's from you getting one point to the other.
Yeah,
if the game is to get out of bed, then congratulations, you fucking won one game in your life, David.
It's actually called Move to Earn. Seriously, that's what it's called. Move to earn.
All right, guys. Marky Mark has a question.
Okay.
It says, I don't know how they figure it out which coins to list and which ones they are not. I mean, how come coins like Phantom and some other ones aren't on Coinbase? Doesn't make sense to me.
So a couple things. The first one is they look at the project itself. If it's they vet the projects, right? A company like Coinbase isn't just going to list.
They're publicly traded, so they got to be careful with what they list.
And even Crypto.com, I mean, they're publicly traded too. But even like Kraken, right? They're not just going to list every coin.
Crypto.com is publicly traded?
No? Okay. All right. Anyways, even the ones that are not publicly traded, they're not just going to list. There's like thousands of new cryptocurrencies every month. They're not just going to list all of them. So there's a vetting process. On top of that, they'll typically list projects that they have invested in. Like Binance invests in projects, Coinbase invests in projects. You got anything to add to that, Robin?
It's if they deem it a risk to be considered a security by the SEC. That's it. If they look at it and they find that it is a risk by their distribution of tokens upon launch or genesis or token sale, if they have some sketchy things behind it, some things that could be called into question by the SEC, they will not list it.
It's just not worth it to them.
That's pretty much it. And then outside of that, if you check all the boxes, it's more about stability and liquidity. So the longer you've been around, you have liquidity. You know, they're not going to list something that might get rug pulled. So.
Rocco, will you pull up my laptop? So this is the STEPN website. Oh, does that say how to? What's that word, Robin? How to play? And then you earn when you play, right? Play to earn.
Okay,
baby.
What's the game? What is the game? Why don't you play the game? Click
play
it.
to earn, baby.
Click it and play the game.
How to play.
Play.
How to play.
Yeah, there you go.
Step 1. Choose a sneaker. Find a sneaker from the place. Then do the details.
Do you remember when everybody had
And then equip your, hey, I'm not done. Equip your sneaker, move outdoors, burn energy, and earn handsome rewards. Measure running outdoors with GPS.
I'm not
Check
saying
and flex
I'm
your
not
earnings.
saying that it's not a good project. I'm not saying you can't make money on it. I'm just saying it's not a game. Okay? It's the same
still
way
playing it.
The same way when people you sound like you sound like that old lady that was walking around.
watch your mouth about old
You sound like
ladies.
the
My
old
mom
lady
is an old
that
lady.
was walking around
That's
the
enough.
grocery store with her Skechers rounded bottom shoes talking about she's working out. She's not working out because she has rounded bottom shoes.
You leave old ladies and working out of this. You old man.
Remember that? You remember that when people were wearing those Skechers shoes and with the rounded bottoms, and they couldn't stand still because they're just rocking back and forth all day, and they're like, "I'm working out, I'm burning calories." I'm like, "No,
Oh, man.
you have no balance. That's what you have right now."
That's cold-blooded, man. All right. So we have time for one more article. Robin, you want to do Polygon launches SuperNets? House Democrats ask the EPA for more oversight, or MicroStrategy suggests using Bitcoin to eliminate scams. Pick.
Now, why don't we let the chat pick?
Chat. 1 for Polygon, 2 for Democrats, and 3 for MicroStrategy.
What are you doing this weekend, man?
Quickly. What am I doing this weekend? So my kid's got a soccer game tomorrow. He's a straight G, man. This dude is like a little mini Armenian Lionel Messi. And then I'm going to a friend's daughter's birthday party. And then I'm going to, where am I going? To work. No, there's not the studio, dummy.
You know what I got to do, man? I don't know how the hell.
trees.
I don't know how Chicago.
I know your trees.
I don't know how Chicago got the term the Windy City, but here in Las Vegas, it's like a damn hurricane every day, bro. And I have these tall trees in my backyard, and they're struggling, bro. The wind is just beating them down, bro. That's all I got. We got some ones in the chat. Looks like a one part. Oh, we got a 2 in here. We got 3 1s, 1 3.
Eddie, this is
2
your
3s.
job. You're supposed to be tallying this. You're
I
fired.
already
You
picked
can't be
one.
typing in your own numbers and you ask the chat a question.
Look at what I typed, bro. Before you.
You
freak
typed
out.
1,
I'm telling
2,
him what it
and
is.
3.
I'm telling him what it is.
Oh. Didn't you already tell him?
Yeah, but people forget.
Pick one, dude. Polygon.
Oh no, it's tied 1 and 3,
No, there's 3
It's not. It's
ones.
3 1s.
and 3 3s.
Where?
Defib, Daniel, and Stereo 2 said 3.
Stereo 2's our producer. He doesn't count.
His opinion matters. Yeah, he's got the banner ready. That's why. All right, the next one, 1 or 3. That's gonna be the tiebreaker. The next one, put 1 or 3. That's what we're gonna do. All right, I'm making an executive decision. We're going number 1.
We got 3.
3. All right, Brokyoshi.
Yeah.
MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy CEO, the man that I bothered for 1 minute straight. Just kidding. By the way, if you haven't seen our MicroStrategy Michael Saylor interview, our 1 minute interview, please go watch it. It was great. Michael Saylor suggests using Bitcoin to eliminate crypto scam bots on Twitter. The CEO of MicroStrategy has joined the discussion under Elon Musk's recent tweet making a proposal regarding the elimination of crypto scam bots on Twitter that Musk is trying to buy. Michael Saylor has suggested that the issue with crypto scam bots and any scammers whatsoever can be solved by implementing verification for all real human users of the social network. Saylor proposed introducing orange check marks that can be bought with a one-time security deposit in Satoshis. So, the tweet. Twitter needs 396 million orange checks to evolve beyond the limits of 360,000 blue checks. Everyone should have the right to be verified in a few seconds for a few sats without surrendering their privacy. So it's essentially saying KYC to get a orange check, and that way we'll know you're a human. So next thing you know, you'll have a blue check, an orange check, and then a purple check.
I mean, that makes okay. So if you've watched the Lex Friedman podcast that he had Michael Saylor on, Michael Saylor, this is not the first time he talked about it. So there he talked about the orange check there as well. And so what he proposed was $20. You pay $20, you become a member, you have the orange check. And what that does is it eliminates the bots in the same way, in the same analogy that we use with the quantum computing. Basically, you charge a penny for every time you put in a password combination. If you were to charge every person $20 to get a orange check mark. And if you own an account, Michael Saylor was saying his inbox in his Twitter account has millions of messages, and he can't read them because they're all sent by bots.
Right.
So if he could filter the messages and be like, I can only receive messages from orange checks.
Right.
If that was the case, if he could only receive messages from orange check marks, basically you eliminate all the bots, because you're not going to pay $20 every time to make an account when you're trying to make 1 million accounts.
Right.
So that was now. Does that eliminate crypto scams? It can, absolutely, because how many messages do you get in your inbox every day? I have just 1,000 damn messages from Coinbase, quote unquote, and they're talking about my account has been compromised.
Yeah,
my account has been compromised on Coinbase more than.
No, seriously, I get one of those at least every day.
Exactly.
You know what else I've been getting a lot of? And chat, I want you to tell me if you're getting the same thing. A random number will text you and pretend like they know you and just have a conversation with you. So I got one text, "Hey John, when are we gonna grab that cup of coffee?" And then, "Who's John?"
Eddie.
Sorry.
Do you get these random text messages?
No.
He keeps venting to me.
No.
You said no, right?
And then you text back, "Who's John?" "Oh, sorry, I thought you were John. What's your name?"
Eddie
They try
hasn't
to
got
open
these
up a
text
conversation
messages
because no one likes
I
him.
haven't got these text messages.
No
You're
one
the
likes
only
you.
one. So
I think
Rocco,
you're
have
lying,
you-
bro.
You used to get them, yeah. See, because Rocco's.
think you're lying, bro.
I have
Rocco's
I
lying.
have an admission. Okay, I got an admission. Y'all ready?
Yeah, what?
I got a mission. So I was on a road trip across the country, and I stopped at this diner, and I had the bubblies, bro. I had to use the bathroom, and I put call for a good time, and I put your number on the bathroom stall.
Mine.
So
You're
if you're wondering
Shit, bro.
why you keep getting all these messages from Bubba, from old Billy Bob,
You're such an idiot, bro.
from he like who is Henry?
How you doing, Henry?
Why does he keep messaging about
No, seriously.
glory?
And then they're like, "Oh, well, maybe we can get to know each other." I'm like, "Fuck off! I don't want to get to know you." Anyways, that'll do it for our show today, my friends. What an amazing week! We had so much fun. We had Natalie, we had Forrest, we had that's it. We had me. We had listening to Robin.
We
sorry
got
about
Eddie
that.
on the couch.
We got Eddie on
If
the
y'all
couch.
want to see more of Eddie, put a 1 in the chat. We're trying to warm him up. So there he is. So make sure y'all drop some messages there. He keeps putting 0 too. All right.
No,
well,
seriously. Roll the outro, Mr. Producer.
all right.
Our friends, on behalf of myself, Rocco, Eddie, and Robin, we love you guys. We had a great week. We're excited for next week. We're going to keep this thing going, baby. We're going to grow our community. We'd love for you to stay and grow with us. Have an amazing weekend. We love you guys. We'll see you Monday. Peace. Oh, shit. Wait, the giveaway.
Oh, giveaway.
Yeah. All right, wait. Don't leave. Don't leave.
I got 16
We're doing a giveaway. Robin, pull a name for me. Thank you, Brokioshi. Thank you for reminding me, bro.
Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. Smoking on a island, say she wanna ride with.
All right, here we go. We're pulling a name here, my friends. So when we pull a name, I will email you from our Sin City.
You're still waiting for me to do it, right?
Yeah.
Which one is it? The one-
It just says giveaway. So what I'll do is I will email you from our Sin City Crypto 1 at Gmail account. I will ask you for just your home address or the address you want me to send your gift to, and then that's it. And then I will send you a gift, and you're gonna love it. If you're a crypto fan, if you're a Bitcoin fan,
tell him what you're gonna give him.
I'm not gonna. It's gonna come as a surprise.
Just tell him.
It's a surprise. Okay, fine. I'll tell you. This book right here. Natalie talked about this yesterday, The Bitcoin Standard. If you have not read it, and I don't know why the hell it took me so long to read it. I'm almost done with it. Phenomenal, amazing. I mean, as you're reading this book, things just start to click. It takes you to the history of monetary policy, finance, how money was created, the medium of exchanges used. And as it gives examples in your head, you're thinking, wow, Bitcoin can do that. Wow, Bitcoin does that. Wow. So it is amazing. So I want to share this resource with one of you, one of our community members. So I will buy one and send it to you.
Our winner is Brokey Yoshi.
Brokey Yoshi, my dude. See, if you'd have never reminded me, you would have never got the book. So I will be sending directly from Amazon to your house. So Brokey Yoshi, I will email you from our Gmail account and ask
the
for
second
your
time
home
he's
address.
won.
He won money last time.
He took his name off of here. He didn't want us to blast him out.
Oh, well, PB, he said it. He already got doxxed. Anyways, we're not going to give his name up. But congratulations, Brokey Yoshi. You will be receiving a copy of the Bitcoin Standard. All right, now we can relieve.
That's it.
That's it. Bye. See you later.
Outro music. Second time. Go.
It's running right on the wall. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink weed, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into